Hi guys, another Q&A with your boy PapiMento, international break, so we had to do something different. Q&A today, and next time is another extra talk. We got some awesome questions from you guys. We picked a couple to discuss today, so stay tuned. First question we received is from Ajax Terdam, at Ajax Terdam 1, and he starts immediately with a direct and hard question. Why don't we, as in we talk Ajax, have more followers? That's a good question. Look, we started 2 years ago with this podcast. We had to come from far. I mean, in the beginning, we had issues with the audio and with the editing of all our videos and podcasts. So I think now, after we're now busy a year and a half, I think we're progressing. The quality is getting better. So why don't we have many followers? I mean, look, we saw a lot of videos before we started that it takes a while to build up your numbers. But we really appreciate already the followers we have, and we notice that we're getting good comments. People appreciate our discussion, and a lot of people are responding to our discussion, and that's actually all that we wanted. We wanted to be a forum where Ajax fans can vent their opinion. The only thing is, we did it in an with an English language. That is because you have all these other programs like Rondo, like Football International, that discuss it all in Dutch. But when I was watching Ajax in the time with Frankie de Jong and De Ligt, and they were doing so great in the Champions League, everybody in Europe was surprised. I mean, the next day I was reading English newspaper, and they were all surprised that Tadic was playing so amazing, for instance. And we, as Ajax fan, we already knew that they were amazing team and that they could do some damage in the Champions League that year. So that's the reason we started this. We wanted to inform also other countries how amazing Ajax is, and bring in the Ajax fans that don't have access to all this content that we Dutch people have. Hi guys, another question from Ajax Amsterdam we chose, and it has nothing to do with Ajax, but it does has to do everything with the Dutch national squad. Frank de Boer is the new coach there instead of Ronald Koeman, and his question is: do you think Frank de Boer will lead the Dutch national squad to success? I don't think Frank de Boer has anything to do with this. Even Koeman, which I think is a great coach, was struggling with the Dutch team. I think it has to do with the quality on the pitch, and not always with the coach. If I look at the back line with Virgil van Dijk, De Ligt, and as Frenkie de Jong as a number six, I think the central defense and midfield is really good, world class even. But if I look at the wing back positions and the front of the Dutch national team, I think it's lacking. It doesn't have enough skill and technical capabilities to really win a European Cup or a World Cup. So I think also from the Boer will struggle as Ronald Koeman did, till we see some better talents coming up in the Dutch national team. Mike at Sport and Politic gave us the next question. Did I revise my opinion on the transfer to Ajax from Davy Klaassen? Thank you for that one. Davy Klaassen, oh my god. When Davy Klaassen started at Ajax, I was so against him because I think it's a very limited player. That opinion hasn't really changed, but I must say I revised the way I think of Klaassen. He's very useful since he's been back for Ajax. He can play on multiple positions on the midfield, and he does a decent job everywhere you put him. So he's a utility player, important for Ajax at the moment with so many young players. Did I revise my opinion? Yes, he's crucial for Ajax at this moment. Am I a fan? That will never happen because I think he's just too limited of a player, and the same is goes for Veldman, for instance. Players that play a long time with Ajax because they lack the skill. But for Eredivisie standards, very good. But I do see him as one of the top earners at Ajax, and he has also the duty now to prove himself, or in the Europa League, or in the Champions League with this team. And let's see how far he can get before I really fully changed my opinion on Klaassen. From Yadirenko, we received a lot of questions. We picked three of those. Thank you, Yadirenko. The first question is, what do I think of the development of the youngsters, Taylor, Timber, Wrench, Univar, and Douglas? How far are they in their development, and when they should make minutes in the first team of Ajax? Let me be very clear about the development of Taylor, Univar, Douglas. I think at this particular time, they're not good enough. I think they need to finish this season at Young Ajax, and maybe next year they can be of importance in the first team. But just looking at the other players on their position in the first team, I think they are further in their growth than the youngsters. If I look at Wrench and Timber, I think they're already ready for the first team. Wrench, I said that at the preseason already. I would have him on the bench, and he would be my first to come in when Mazra or Tagliafico go out. He's two-footed, and he has that drive to really go to the front also for the attack, which is very important for Ajax. When should these players play? Look, my contention is always with Ajax. Every KNVB Baker game, youngsters should play, especially in the beginning. So they can do that already this season. Just the Eredivisie games, Champions League, I think that's already too high, and maybe next year will be their chance to really get there. Except Timber and Wrench, which I think should be already on the bench and should get their minutes in those games as well. Second question of Yadirenko is, what is my favorite Ajax game of all time? Well, my favorite Ajax game has nothing to do with how Ajax played, but it was more what they won. It was Champions League final against AC Milan, Kluivert with the one goal that made us win. But it had such a backstory. I mean, we were born on Curacao. We came to Holland. We were already on Curacao, fan of Ajax, while, mind you, our father is a Feyenoord fan. So we had to endure a lot while growing up. And then we came to Holland 2 years in, and then we saw that final. I remember we had this. I was 10. Okay, I came here when I was 8. I was 10 when we were watching the game. We had this ice bear, teddy bear kind of thing that we dressed up with all the Ajax colors, and we were watching that game. Well, for a young fan in the finals of the Champions League, that was the most beautiful thing to watch, and we won it. I mean, that was the last time we won the Champions League. So that had the greatest impact on me as a game and as an Ajax fan. The last question of Yadirenko is, who is my favorite Ajax player? Now, I don't know if Yadirenko means at the moment, which are playing at Ajax. If that's the case, I would say Onana, Anthony, Kudus, Tagliafico, Neres. Those are really... And Gravenberg. I really look forward to watching these players play because I really love watching them play. Especially Tagliafico with his Argentinian drive, Gravenberg with his amazing talent, Anthony, we've seen it. He does it all. Kudus does it all. And Neres, just because he's a joker, it's always fun to watch. And he's a great player. So, love those players at Ajax at the moment. If I look at players from back in the time, wow, that's a very hard question. I mean, there are so many names that come to mind. Bergkamp, Canu, Seedorf, Edgar Davids, Maxwell, Trabelsi, Zlatan, Suarez. So, yeah, I can keep going. There's so much. Shota Arveladze. Oh my God, that was such a great player. So, I loved a lot of Ajax players, so I hope I gave you some kind of answer. The next question is from Tony B82. Based on current season, from only excluding preseason, who are the current Ajax squad that should play without any doubts? Who of this current Ajax squad should play without any doubt? I think how the team is at the moment is perfect. The only question mark I have is Schuurs and the midfield. And let me start with Schuurs. Schuurs didn't play all the games perfect. I think him and Jurjen Timber are not as a quality far apart. I just think Timber with a combination, Blind might work better than what Schuurs is showing, but it's I don't know that for sure. I mean, the games that I saw Timber play, he was solid and almost no mistakes. In which we see Schuurs making mistakes often. Um, Maybe it's also because Schuurs is playing every match and we're not seeing Timber as much. Maybe he would have those mistakes as well. But I just think as a combo with Blind, Timber would be a better option. And if we discuss the midfield, I'm sick and tired of seeing Tadic on 10, Promes on 10, Neres on 10. Every time a different 10, Ekkelenkamp on 10. I would just say put Martinez next to Klaassen or Klaassen as a 10, and then put Martinez next to Gravenberg. Looks to me as a more solid midfield. Those are the only two positions I would change. We also received three questions from Mohammed at Mahdi Ratrout. Do you think Erik ten Hag is the one who can still ruin this season? Yes. Or do I feel that he started to listen to all the criticism and will bring the team back to form? Look, for an Ajax trainer, it's never easy. Okay, so every year, your best players leave, and you have to or bring in the young players that are there, or buy new players. But it always comes with some delay in finding form and getting used to the team. Klaas is not a good example because he already played at Ajax, but usually when you come at Ajax fresh, you don't know the play style and it takes a while to get back in form. We have been lucky with Klaassen now that he already understands the Ajax game, in which he was very easy to put in the team. Do I think Erik ten Hag listens to criticism? No, I don't think so. I just think Corona is a driving force this season, in which he just wants to utilize all the players that he has, so the energy levels stay high and the stamina stay high, and he doesn't have so many injuries. Next question from Muhammad is: do I see Ajax still playing Champions League after the winter break? Yes, I do see them playing after the winter break. If I look at the Atalanta game, I think we were two up in the first half, getting easy goals against in the second half. We should have gotten the 3 points. I think against Liverpool, we also had a chance to get a draw or a win. So I do think that Ajax has a chance to get to the second round, but it all depends on their performance now. And they have the quality, enough quality in that team to hurt them, to hurt Atalanta, to hurt Midtjylland, and to even hurt Liverpool that lost their biggest defender now. So I expect much, and they should qualify. And after the winter break, we will have Kudus back. So it's looking up, but they need to perform now. They need to show now that they're ready. And with a little bit of luck, I see them getting there. Last question from Muhammad is: do you expect any shocking departures from our squad like Onana or Taifiko in January? Well, I just said that I think they're going to qualify for a Champions League. If that's not the case and they go into Europa League or anything else, I think money talks, bullshit walks, right? So if they go into Europa League and a club comes with a big bag of money, knowing that Onana and Taifiko want to leave, I think Ajax might do it, and they already. I mean, it's half a season yet. It's Europa League. Maybe already let the youngsters play so they can build for the next season. So, do I think Ajax would let them leave? They wouldn't want to, but knowing that both players want to leave, and if the club comes with a lot of money, yeah, they will leave. We also received a question from the Little River at Amina Mina, and I guess he's a big Donny van de Beek fan because he's asking me thoughts on how Donny van de Beek is being treated at Man United. Look, I'm very sad for Donny because I love the way he plays. I love his play style, and he's been very important for Ajax. When he left, I thought he deserved his transfer because, to me, even though he's still young, he's already a senior in the amount of games he played for Ajax, in how far he came in the Champions League with Ajax, and last year the Champions League was also very good in quality what Ajax showed. We were unlucky against Chelsea, but that should have been also a season in which we continued in the Champions League. And Donny was a big part of that. His goals were very important. Like Klaassen, he's also always in the box and deadly. Now coming back to Manchester United, do I think that's the best option for him? No, because it's a struggling team. The coach is a young coach, and I'm not sure. I mean, Donny had the transfer talks. I'm not sure that Solskjaer wanted him. He was a second choice. But in your conversation with the team, I think you should know if they really want you or they just want you for the bench. Maybe Donny should have chosen for a smaller team, but knowing that he would play every week, and that's maybe the smarter decision. We saw this also with Klaas leaving to Everton. Didn't play much, did become a better player, but his European adventure didn't go very well, and now he's getting back into things at Ajax. But look, Ajax has a specific playing style, and not every team is going to suit your style. So pick very carefully to which team you want to transfer to. That's all I will say. So I cannot be very sad for Donny, even though I like him very much. It was his decision to go to Menu, and now it's up to him to show everything he's got to be in that starting 11.
Hey there, thanks for watching. A thumbs up if you enjoyed that video. Subscribe so we can bring you more awesome content. Do it.